that right, Myra?
Yep.
Okay. I think we're just about set to go. We'll just take one more minute, allowing some others to join us this morning. What absolute fun to have everyone today. This is just, it's just nice. Kind of feels like a family, doesn't it? It just really feels, well, it is a family.
Mhm.
It's the best family, it's the best family of spirit, just to say the least. Okay, we'll get ourselves going this morning and just kind of see where we go. It'll be fun, I guarantee you that. So again, let us just be thankful that we have this wonderful opportunity. It's very easy for us to be thankful. That gratitude is something within our hearts, not just on today, but it's on every day. The button is always on. We are grateful for so many things in life, but especially grateful that we have this wonderful universal spirit to share. May our time together be precisely this. Although brief in time, it is endless in quality, for we share the quality of the Holy Spirit of life itself. May it help each one of us today with our family and friends as we continue to raise the energy of our species and planet. Namaste. Mighty souls, welcome aboard. And we have a very nice group of people joining us today. So we're on split screens. So I am going to ask you to mute. Please make sure you mute until we're ready to do a little sharing and so on. So let me begin first of all with a couple of announcements, and then we'll proceed on to our sharing today. First of all, it's just a joy to be here with you today. This is just absolute fun. Just fun. How nice to be in the loving spirit with each one of you. I also want to call your attention, if you have not seen our Sunday service from last Sunday, please take the time to do so. I think you'll find it very enjoyable. It's on Soul Stories Part 1, and this Sunday it'll be Soul Stories Part 2. And I also like to invite you to our weekend enrichment programs every Friday, every Saturday from 7 to 8:30. Very happy to have you with us. And at the conclusion of which, we do a study of the workbook from A Course in Miracles. So please join us. And now I want to do just a little something that's just kind of fun. I want to just briefly introduce the 5 members of our leadership team. So the first one, I want to thank Myra for her technological assistance, making sure that we get all of these wonderful emails, all of the links and so on. Bravo, Myra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The second member is John Chartle. John heads our membership committees, and applause and kudos to John for all of his work. Plus he does a few other things as well. To Nissy Harris for the editing and for our mailings. By the way, you should have had a mailing this past week. Got a little something in the mail, and I thank Nissy and Nancy Mudd too for doing such excellent work.
Thank
and then,
you.
Of course,
My
you're
pleasure.
welcome. And then myself, part of the team as well. But the 5th member of the team, of course, is all of you. This is the team. You know, we are doing this together, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. We do this certainly in gratitude for each other, but also just realizing the wonderful spirit we bring to our family and to our friends, and especially, and I hope you feel this, the service that we are doing to humanity, to our species, to the planet, and beyond. We are raising energies in ways far beyond what you might even be thinking right now. So I just want you to know how vital we are to the all that is. So with that thought in mind, what I'd like to do obviously is to share our teaching this morning. And the way that I have it kind of set up is I'm going to talk about maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm going to invite your responses. And again, we have split screens, so we might have more than one split screen. So I'll just ask you to say, Vince, I want to say something. So if I don't see you with my screens, please say I'd like to say something. And then we'll spend the last 15 to 20 minutes in meditation, of course. Let me again just say how fun this is. How nice to be here with all of you. Let me also ask, will you please have your handouts available? Please make sure you've downloaded those 3 statements and please have them handy for yourself. So, for quite some time, I personally have felt the need to view these holidays from the perspective of spiritual awareness, from the perspective of a alignment with our source energy. I felt this for the last several years, and I'm glad that we're now able to do it. Because for the most part, the holidays, although they have a really good original intent, for many, many reasons, the holidays have succumbed truly to the pull of economic factors, or at best maybe holiday gatherings. As is clearly evidenced by, of course, the shopping spaces, the shopping spree known as Black Friday. And then, of course, you have the countdown for shopping days to Christmas. And then even in 1939, I found that Franklin Delano Roosevelt moved the celebration of Thanksgiving from the last Thursday in November to the 4th Thursday in November, because there was a 5th Thursday that year, and he felt it would really help the economic development to move it back 1 week. It's just interesting to see all of these factors. What I especially would like to say, however, is that I want to add another factor to the meaning of these holidays, and of course today being Thanksgiving. While each of these all holidays have an important theme, such as gratitude, the celebration of Hanukkah and Christmas, and especially the newness of another year, all of these are taking place or have taken place during the game of separation. Let me just briefly explain that. The holidays we have had, as we see them, have taken place in the game of separation, when we have felt ourselves distanced from the God Spirit and have done the best we could with themes such as gratitude and family. But we've been missing something very, very essentially. What we didn't have was an understanding of ourselves as spiritual beings. We didn't have that understanding, which we now have, but not just as spiritual beings, but we are spiritual beings that are aligned with our source. That is such a different thing than being still in separation. Now we are in the game of realignment with source. So while the themes are still relevant, while the themes of gratitude, celebrations of the holidays and the new year, while they are still relevant, I believe that they need to be recast from a spiritual perspective, because we have moved from the game of separation and are now enjoying our alignment with our source energy. We've changed the game. Some of you may not be aware of that change in the game, but many of you now are. We're ending separation, and now we're moving back into realignment. So what I would like now to offer you is my spiritual alignment to recast the meaning of Thanksgiving, with its focal point now on gratitude to God for God's abundance to us. Let me explain. Let me begin. First, you would have noticed by now that the flyer that we mailed to you did not have the typical fall scene of leaves, corn stalks, and fall squashes. that was quite purposeful. While we continue to be grateful, while we continue to be very grateful for the material abundance of the earth, there is so much more that we need to consider. To do so, let me now call your attention to the first of the 3 quotes we sent to you via email. Please put them into your hands. The first quote is from the Course in Miracles, and this is Jesus talking. He says, I, Jesus, do not need gratitude, but you need to develop your weakened ability to be grateful, or you cannot appreciate God. He, God, does not need your appreciation, but you do. So let's just take another look at that. I, Jesus, I don't need your gratitude, but you need to develop your weakened ability to be grateful, or you cannot appreciate God. God does not need your appreciation, but you do. So what is it that we need to appreciate from God? What is it that we need to appreciate from God to bolster our weakened ability to be grateful? In other words, what has God done for you to elicit your gratitude? That's the question. What has God done for you to elicit your gratitude? The answer is, I would suggest to you that what God has done for you is to create you just like himself. You are in the image and likeness of God. But more than that, you have all of the qualities that God has. You're not just in the image and likeness, but you have all of the qualities that God has. But now let me add this. God has made you just like himself consciously. Consciously. You are now fully conscious, every one of you, you are now fully consciousness that you are of God. Sitting right where you are right now, you are fully conscious that you are of God. The game of separation is over. We have now realigned. Is this not the most important aspect of gratitude? That you, fully conscious, and the divine are one. Isn't that something to cheer about, to be grateful about? The spirit in you is the God spirit. The consciousness in you, what's buzzing around within you, the consciousness within you is the God consciousness. This is how you are made. You are so far beyond the limited humanity that played the game of separation. Stop it. Stop it. You're so far beyond that. Acknowledge who you are. You've ended separation and you have realigned with your source and with all of its qualities. Do you not see that this is what it means to develop your weakened ability to be grateful? God doesn't need your appreciation, but you do. You need to accept what the divine has done for you. Created you in its image and likeness with all of its qualities. You need to accept this and to accept it with the great gratitude of being like the divine. Would you take the second quote now? The second quote, the power of the sons of God is present all the time because they were created as creators. That should not be new to us now, huh? We were created as creators because we all have the power of the divine to create. Their influence on each other is without limit and must be used for their joint salvation. So I'm going to ask you to number these three phrases, three sentences as 1, 2, 3. The first one, the power of the sons of God, that means all of us, is present all the time because we were created as creators. And then number 2, their influence on each other is without limit. And then number 3, and must be used for our joint salvation. Again, this is taken from A Course in Miracles. And if you're wondering what all those numbers are there, it means Course in Miracles, chapter 6, section 1, paragraph 18, lines 1 and 2. Now, do you not clearly see that you have been created to create? Statement 1, you've been created to create. Consciously. The Course gives us the general guidance when it says, you have been created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. But now here's the fun. You get to decide the particulars of what is good, beautiful, and holy. You've been created to create, that's clear. But you decide the particulars as co-creators. And if that was not enough, you have an internal guide to direct you. You have the voice of the Holy Spirit to intuit the particulars. Do you not see the dignity and the trust that the divine has placed in you as its co-creator, as its partner in creation? We are co-creating with the divine. And then, how about those lines 2 and 3? How we influence each other. How we influence each other in our goodness and in our encouragement. I mean, isn't that true? So many of us have attested how much we've enjoyed each other in our classes, in our sharings. And then that last line, and we happily do so for our joint salvation. We are doing this. We are doing it together. There is a oneness that is clearly apparent. And as we continue to participate in the oneness, we are raising the vibration of each one of us. Oh, and by the way, of our family and friends, humanity, the planet, and beyond. And now, the last remark from one of our members. I am so happy and grateful that I have everything I want and need to do whatever I want and need to do, and whenever I want and need to do it. One of our members shared this with me. Let me just read it again. I am so happy and grateful that I have everything I want and need to do whatever I want and need to do, and whenever I want and need to do it. Now listen closely, please. The reason you always have what you want and need is because you are a conscious creator. That's why you always have what you want and need. You're a conscious creator. This is how the divine has made you. Now, don't you get this? You're a conscious creator. Is this not wonderful? I mean, isn't it exciting that you are a conscious creator? Now, this is what I'm suggesting to you is the spiritualization of Thanksgiving. Absolutely knowing that you are a conscious creator. Isn't this what you truly have gratitude for? And you get to choose the particulars. Whether it's a dinner with your family and friends, a walk in nature, or just sitting in gratitude, which we will do shortly. And you have everything you need and want to do so. This is pretty fun. This is pretty fun. So that's what I'd like to share with you by way of the spiritualization of Thanksgiving. We are conscious creators, and we get to choose the particulars. I mean, don't you think that's neat? And we're doing it for and with each other for our joint salvation, as well as for the salvation of our species and planet. And everything we need, we have. So with that in mind, that's what I'd most like to share with you today. And just for a few minutes, if you have any responses, please feel very comfortable to share them, whatever is on your mind. And again, we have 3 screens now, so I won't be able to go to each screen. Barbara, I see your hand up though, so I can see yours right off the bat. Go ahead, Barbara, unmute. Unmute, Barbara.
Yes, okay.
There you go.
I'm trying to, okay. I just have to say, and I was going to say it yesterday in the class, but I didn't. And that is, I wanted to share with everybody that I had the perfect, sad opportunity to do just exactly these 3 things at my brother's funeral. And it was done through, taking all the environment into. Anyway, it was just wonderful because I really was these things at this gathering, and I never thought that I would be able to do that. I mean, family, you know how difficult that gets, and all the history and story that everybody family has. And I was really a little bit intimidated going, because I thought, everything was just upsetting because of his death and manner in which he died. And I didn't think I would be able to pull this off. And my sister was there with me, and of course my daughters, and that immediate family. And
I'm going to ask you, I want to give everyone a chance to respond. So kind of,
it really works.
On force. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it just really works. And I am not egotistically proud of myself, but I am so happy for myself.
Terrific. Now you should be spiritually proud of yourself.
But okay, that's what it is.
Spirit. Yeah, absolutely. You responded. Wonderful, Barbara. Terrific. That's terrific. In a trying situation. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Nice. Well done, Barbara. Well done. Yeah. Any other comments anyone would like to make? And I don't have all of the other screens, so if you on another screen, just say, hey, Vince. We'll just wait a moment, see if anyone else has anything they'd like to say. Patty, go ahead, dear.
I've been reflecting a lot recently on the holidays and how I feel about them. And traditionally growing up in a big Italian family, you know the drill and how we've experienced it. But since my spiritual life has taken precedent, it's those gatherings and the old meanings of the holiday gatherings it's different for me now. I don't feel that it's you know what I mean. It's a different sense of being, and today and tomorrow is no different how I feel. It's the dimensional third dimension that's created these times of the year to do whatever, but every day is a day of gratitude, or every day is meaningful, like these holidays are supposed to be. That's all I wanted to share.
Oh, that's pretty significant. And I think particularly when you can realize that when the game of separation is over, you don't need a special day to be the way you are all the time. I mean, you know, we're like this all the time. It's not as though, oh, Thanksgiving, oh, I'm going to be a little bit better today. Christmas, Hanukkah, oh, I'm going to be a little bit better today. New Year, no, we're like this all the time. So well stated, Patty. I think you make a very, very good point for all of us. This is who we are all the time. Yeah. Any other comments you'd like to make? Terry, did you have a comment? No, I wasn't quite sure if you did or not. Anything else anyone would like to share? Go ahead, Renee. Renee and then John.
I just wanted to say that, yeah, along with Patty, and I feel, well, this holiday, my son won't be coming up, and not a lot of family around, but I just feel that closeness, that unity with everyone. Just like in meditation, I can just see everyone sitting, and I feel the same closeness. Maybe we can't exchange, but we'll talk on the phone. But yeah, I just feel the oneness of everyone here as well. So it's more of that feeling that we can get anytime, like you said.
Exactly. It's a much bigger sense of family, isn't it, Renee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
Just a much bigger sense. It's the real sense of which all other families hopefully are participating. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, nicely stated. John, go ahead. I think you had a comment you wanted to make.
I do, Vince, and
Yes.
to everybody. I think for myself, this non-physical consciousness is so much more real than it's ever been. It's more real than the seemingly physical realness that I've lived so many years in, and that's a big switcheroo for me. It is.
For all of us, yeah.
And yeah, for all of us, yeah. And we can just everywhere we go. That's the beauty of it. And I know last night that meditation we did, I'll just use the word you used, stability point. That never had quite a real meaning to me, but it was an anchoring for me last night, and for many of us. It's we are anchored in something very, very real. That is the source of bringing all this to. It's just so much fun. I agree with, and I think what Barbara said. Boy, those family situations, how nice she could take this and apply it in that situation. And this is really a terrific Thanksgiving. I mean, Linda and I had a discussion we would never have had. We'd be busy running here and there, and sitting here with everybody. It's a new way to do things. Yeah. Thank you. Very grateful.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Lovely. Any other comments that anyone would like to make?
Hey, Vince.
Yes, Marjorie, go ahead, dear.
I just wanted to say that, you know, the first quote from A Course in Miracles, I've heard quite a few times before. However, today, for the first time, I believe I grasped more of the essence of it, that the gratitude is for all that has been given to me and is actually within me. It just has a different feel to it. It's very hard to explain. I mentally, I guess, understood it previously, but now I feel like I'm getting it more in my heart and my energy. So I wanted to say thank you very much.
That's a wonderful place to get it, Marjorie. Now in your heart, in your energy. And that's right. The cerebral understanding is one thing, the feeling experience, quite another. Yeah, lovely, lovely. And there's something that just then rises up within us that will carry us through the day. And then when you realize that it carries you through this day, you then begin to realize that this being our permanent condition can be the way that we can be carried each day. And we're just helping each other to see this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Come on. Thank you, Marjorie. Any other comments we'd like to make? Please feel comfortable always to do this. It's just nice to do. Ronnie, go ahead, dear. Unmute.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, wrong microphone. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, I'm going somewhere today. I'm grateful that I, you know, have this opportunity, and I guess it was I don't know. It was either yesterday or Monday. You were talking about automatic versus autonomic, and I was thinking, you know, I was kind of like excited for the challenge might not be the best word, but that's the word that came to mind. Excited for the challenge of bringing this new awareness into a potentially unpleasant situation because of past experiences, and just kind of, you know, smiling at the thought of, like, you know, being aware of who I'm going to be and then watching how it unfolds, you know, in the situation. So it's not autonomic yet, but it's just, you know, knowing that it's going to be happening is it's fun. It's a challenge to think this way.
It is indeed. It gives us a nice opportunity to do so, obviously. And the word that you use, I'm happy to hear you use the word autonomic. Autonomic is usually how we normally look at some of our physical systems, like digestion, breathing, heart, and so on. We say that they are autonomic, or they happen automatically. But it's very nice to be able to see that we're really living like this pretty much autonomically. Autonomically simply means self-law, self-direction. And this now is what we have moved to. We are now in this state of well-being. And I can't stress enough that a major factor is we've left the game of separation. We've left the game of being in our heads with worry and anxiety. We have now moved to the game of realignment, of becoming once again one with our source. And now you're beginning to see clearly the difference between the old game of separation and the newer presence of alignment with source. These are two clear distinctions. And it's wonderful for us to be able to see the difference and not to replay the game of separation anymore. But we have to help each other, got to keep on encouraging each other that we have moved out of the game of separation much more into this wonderful, wonderful experience of enlightenment autonomically, automatically, every day. Yeah. Any other comments? Let's take one or two more comments before we do our meditation. Please feel comfortable, and your sharing is vital. So please say, I'm going to share. And Barbara, if you want to say something else, you can feel comfortable to do that too. But Karen, I think you wanted to make a comment.
Yes.
Or Tim, I'm not sure.
I listening to Barbara talk about how she wasn't, proud egoically, and you commenting spiritually that she should be proud. And then your most recent comments, it just makes me think of, and this, autonomic responses. I notice that, things that just have happening so much in my life, and I know not only in mine, but everybody else, that things just pop up where like, I'm surprised. I get caught off guard, like, I can't believe I responded that way, or I can't believe that I'm thinking this way, or, whatever. But this change, that it is more autonomic the more we practice. And I keep thinking of the words that you've used. Isn't it fun to be so surprised? Like, oh, isn't this fun? Isn't this great? And so, I'm grateful for that. It's an enjoyment. And it's not about ego. It's just enjoying, like, well, I'll be darned. Look at that, So that's all I wanted to share. It's joyful.
It is joyful. Boy, you said a lot, Karen. Thank you. That was lovely, lovely. And I especially like, well, the more you practice, the more it seems to happen. Well, isn't that the truth? I suppose the converse is the less you practice, the less it happens. So moving into the more we practice, obviously, the more it happens. We ever make time for one more comment if someone would like to make it? Please feel comfortable. Barb, go ahead, dear. Unmute. There you go.
I can't unmute, can I?
Yes, you're unmuted.
Yes, I just want to ask you all a question. When we are feeling the way we feel with our accomplishments, are we allowed to just chalk one up for ourselves, or is that not, the way we should view it?
Yes, at that stage, what you should do is something like this. Chalk one up and say, I've given the divine a first-class human experience. Bravo to the divine, bravo to me.
Good, that's good.
First-class human experience. Yeah, that's what we're here to do as co-creators.
Okay.
We choose the particulars.
Yes.
This is pretty exciting. We choose the particulars. Well, with
That is a big one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, chalk one up for the divine in yourself. Beautiful co-creation. Beautiful co-creation. Okay, with that in mind, let's do our meditation. It's just absolutely fun, and we'll certainly review all of those themes. But let's begin as we normally do by just taking those few breaths, just nicely breathing in and breathing out. And would you feel the lightness of our coming together this morning, just how light it is to come together in this energy with each other. Feel the lightness as you breathe in and breathe out. And would you notice right now how absolutely good you feel? And you might be saying something like, well, this is heaven on earth, feeling like this. Because you are heaven on earth. You are the divine doing its thing as you here on earth. Does not the feeling authenticate its truth? You are heaven on earth. Again, notice how the feeling authenticates the truth. And would you notice that the consciousness that you are in right now at this moment, the consciousness that you're in is not so much mental, conceptual, that the consciousness you are presently in right now is soulful, heartful, spiritual. Notice this. This is why this consciousness can be shared. It is not a personality me. but it is a spiritual us. And I hope you feel that what you are experiencing right now is also being experienced by the many of us who are sharing this experience right now with you. Right now, there is only one of us. And then do not those words from the second statement come alive, how we influence each other, how we work together for joint salvation. Again, salvation meaning alignment, consciousness. Doesn't that just become so real? We're doing this together. We have a spiritual family that we're taking care of. And speaking of family, there are a couple of other families in addition to our spiritual family. There is certainly our everyday family, people with whom we live, share our lives, our friends, organizations we belong to. And as several of you have said, we're able to bring this energy into our human families. Sometimes a little challenging, but less and less so. And more, we're just showing up with love and kindness, with sincerity, with goodness. And that pretty much wins the day. Oh yes, there's the human family as well. There's the human family. We're part of this too. Do you not now see that by ending the game of separation with its worry, anxiety, fear, and moving back to realignment with Source, do you not see how you have become a forerunner for humanity? Do you not clearly see this? You've ended the game of separation with all of its noise and drama. You're no longer hooked. And you're moving into a new way, a splendid way. I can only suggest this to you, but I hope you feel it. You are the vanguard. You are the way shower. You are the forerunner of what is now possible for our species. We are choosing the particulars. Autonomically. such gratitude to the all that is, for all that is. Happy Thanksgiving. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bravo, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bravo.
Happy
Namaste.
Thanksgiving.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Connie
Thank
says
you.
thank you.
Happy
Connie says thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Joy to
Thank
be
Thanks
you.
with
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thanksgiving.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Fun. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Enjoy the beauty of
Just
the day.
Everyone enjoy their day of gratitude and thank you. It was so nice being here with all of you.
It is. Thanks, Sevim. Yeah, nice comments. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you for that
Bye-bye.
beautiful service.
Bye.